So, welcome to the podcast. This is
The Old Souls,
Podcast.
podcast. We'll see how this goes because
yes, great.
we're very professional with our wires and cords hanging everywhere.
Good.
Because
We don't even have an audio mixer to mix
no,
the two. We're doing
we're poor. That's how it
entirely
works.
through software and a laptop that I've been using for college. So, welcome. I suppose we should introduce ourselves.
I mean, yeah,
I
that's
guess.
probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'm Wes, and I'm from Washington. So is he.
Tenino.
Tenino, Washington. Is
Tenino. For the people that don't understand the joke, because they're not from Tenino.
Yes, we are born and raised in Tenino. We are farmers.
The People's Republic of Washington State. I don't know if you can hear the disdain that we have for our state's leadership
Yeah,
in my voice, but
it's pretty.
I
bad.
try to make it pretty obvious. So
Yeah, I hope it's obvious.
we'll see.
So anyway, we are.
You never introduced me.
Yes,
you
I'm
just
about to get into that.
all about yourself, aren't
No, I
you?
was about to get to that. Anyway, we're both farmers. We're both diesel mechanics here.
In training, diesel mechanics in
mechanics in
training.
training,
We're
I
not
should say.
professionals.
Well, yeah, but we have one degree.
So far, yeah.
We have one degree. In
The
diesel
idea is to go
mechanics.
back and get more, but we'll see how that works out.
One more degree, yes.
One more.
We're both farmers. We're both diesel mechanics in training. This
Both
is
grew up
Wyatt.
on family farms.
Both grew up on family farms.
Yes, my name's Wyatt.
His name is Wyatt. Our names both start with W.
Wyatt and Wes.
Yeah, it's very
Well,
important.
he's from Tenino. I'm from
He's from
Tumwater.
Tumwater.
So I hope that's confusing
Yeah. that's what
for
we're
everybody
saying right now.
involved.
Yes, there's a lot of towns that start with T in this state. So I suppose
Is there though?
Yeah,
There's not really that.
Well, there's
Oh, really?
Toledo,
Oh, geez, here we go. He's gonna start naming stuff.
Tenino, Tumwater, Tulalip.
My brain already hurts.
Yeah.
You can stop now. Feel
right.
free.
My point rests. Anyway, so welcome to the podcast. Yeah, we're just sitting here at a table. We are in Tumwater actually right now.
Yes, we're at my house
We're at
because
his house right now because
they're building a building and there's a bunch of
there's
stuff
a lot of
going on.
This
Don't worry
podcast
about it,
would
it's
have
fine.
happened at the farm, my farm, to start, and then we would have gone to his, and it would have been kind of a trade-off deal. Right now, we're just
There'll be plenty of backgrounds,
There'll
so
be
don't
plenty of
worry.
backgrounds.
It'll be really confusing. So,
It'll
be perfect.
Kind of what we hope to do, I think, is just confuse people.
oh yeah, that's our goal.
So I think, yeah, we should start off.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know, but I think we should start with whatever's in our brains right now.
I was gonna start with all the mole traps we set yesterday.
All the mole traps you said.
We were out there for like 2 hours. It was ridiculous.
Mole
Like,
traps.
if you look between the irrigation pipes out there and here, you can't see them very well because
Yeah,
grass. But
grass.
we set 25 yesterday. 25 sets of our
Go for it.
words trap line. We
Trap
like our
line.
trap
We
line
got trap
traps.
line traps.
I set my one gopher hawk. I caught one with it the other
Oh,
day
yeah?
for the first time. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
thought,
told you about those. I don't know. When did you buy your gopher hawk?
oh, don't ask me to remember time. Come on
Time,
now,
he
you
doesn't
should know better than that by now. I don't know.
Because
Probably-
I remember telling you about gopher hawks,
Yeah, and then I bought
and
one,
then you went and bought one.
and they're very. If you know how to do it, which I don't yet, I'm trying to learn
Well, you'll
still.
get there.
But
It's if you don't know what a gopher hawk is, it is a mole trap, and it is like this tube shape.
well, technically it's a gopher trap.
Well, yeah, technically
It's
it's a
called
gopher
that
trap.
gopher hawk.
Yeah, but
But here in the People's Republic of Thurston County,
yeah.
we're not allowed to trap pocket gophers, so we don't.
So we don't. Yeah, we do moles. And one
And,
of the things
yeah.
you can do is buy a gopher hawk, which is like a tube-shaped trap with a spring on the back of it, and then it has this setter that comes with it. It's like another tube, basically a piece of PVC pipe, like rubberized stuff.
Yeah, and then you pull the core out of it, and it's a big metal stick,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
And then you probe,
You probe for a tunnel.
and then you find the tunnel, and you put that back in the other piece, and then you wiggle it around for a
Yeah,
while,
you
and then
make
you
a
stick
big
the
thing.
trap down there.
You stick the trap, and then you pull up on the trap body.
They can't
pushing-
see. That's behind the people.
yeah.
They can't see that.
You pull up on the trap. Thanks for being there.
We're so professional.
We're so good at this. You pull up on the trap body while keeping a firm hand on the top of the trap itself, and that sets it. There's this little trigger thing, and the mole runs into that.
That was a good description.
It's what
this
it looks,
right here.
I'm not wrong. That's what
You're
it
not.
looks like. It's like
I just have to make fun of you. That's my job.
It is my job too.
You're
Make fun
welcome.
of you. So, it's three. It's three prongs
Oh,
in a ring and
jeez.
a little trip ring, The trip ring goes off,
They touch it with their nose. It sucks their face up into the tube, and they die.
and they die.
It's probably one of the most. Well, that's how they market it. Is one of the most humane gopher traps on the market.
Yeah,
which
and it's also really effective.
very effective.
Because for a while, we were running only regular old claw traps and
Shotgun shells.
shotgun shell traps.
Those must be
are
pretty fun and entertaining.
very entertaining, actually, because
I
when you're
bet.
sitting down, just enjoying a nice dinner with the family at the farm, suddenly a very loud explosion goes off, and you don't know where
Boom!
it came from. And then you go, oh, yeah. I think that mole's probably dead.
We used to use the blaster. That was fun.
Blasters, yeah.
For any of you people that are not farmers, we have has a I don't know. It's probably 4 or 5 feet long.
Yeah.
A little probe with a nozzle on the end of it, and you hook oxygen and acetylene bottles up to it,
Yeah.
as you do,
Yes, you do.
and you stick it in the tunnel, and it fills the tunnels for, I don't know, 20, 30 feet away from where you are,
Yeah.
up with acetylene and oxygen, and then you click a button, and it goes,
Boom.
and it's the concussion's supposed to kill them, and any that are near around usually move away because, they don't want to be exploded.
Yeah, usually, if you don't understand, moles tend not to like
Explosives. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, so actually today, you know how we
Technically, not technically. I don't like explosions either. I don't want to get exploded.
Yeah,
that would be
usually,
pretty painful.
I think that would hurt.
Just a smidge.
Yeah, actually today, the way we killed a mole today.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah, we killed a mole, but it was unconventional.
Oh, what'd you do?
Okay, so my brother has an A5, an old Browning A5, but it's not. I don't think it was manufactured by Browning. It's one of the old ones. Anyway, what he did today was he saw the mole
This'll be good.
moving around in the ground, right?
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And he saw it pushing up dirt. Well, he had his A5 with him because he just packs it with him everywhere.
Well, I mean, that's a very effective mole gun.
Yeah, well, it's also
It's a little overkill,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. It's
Is that an aught 6?
no, it's shotgun. Browning A5.
Oh.
A5 Auto 5.
Like, I just
It's the ones with the I don't know if any of you out there know what these are, but it's a humpback shotgun. It's a shotgun, and then it has that little humpback with the slot cut out in the rear, kind of for your rear sight, and then it goes down to the bead at the end. Pretty interesting. They're pretty interesting looking guns, and I don't remember what that one was chambered in, but anyway, today he saw the mole moving around. He saw it push up a pile of dirt. He just happened to have it with him because he was shooting birds. And next thing you know, I was walking around from behind the sawmill, and I hear a very loud
boom.
and well, next thing you know, he comes walking up to me with this gray thing in his hands. I was like,
What was
is
left
that?
of it?
Yeah, and I was like, what is
Nice.
that? And he walks up to me. I'm like, oh, a mole. He said, yeah, I was just waiting there. I saw it pushing up dirt, and I just shot at it.
Nice. So those daisies right there,
Yeah,
there's I don't know, 3 feet,
yeah,
would you say those are?
yeah. About 3
3 or 4 feet,
3 or 4
somewhere in
feet
there.
tall, yeah.
So the other day, my mom and my grandma were sitting in the pool, and one of them started wiggling around. And then a second later, it just started into so a mole grabbed it and pulled it
Grabbed it and pulled the.
from in the flower bed. So she thought the dog was taking all her flowers, and it's a mole in the flower bed. I've been chasing a mole in our yard for, I don't know, a couple months now. Because it'll go into the shed, and then it'll go into the house, so I can't get it.
You can't get it.
I caught 2 of them right in front of the shed.
Really?
In the same hole with.
So you just used
Trapline
the
traps.
Trapline trap.
Yeah, those are very effective.
Traplines are good traps, yeah.
Yeah, but I just couldn't believe that the whole thing just into the tunnel. Why?
Why?
What's so good about a flower? I guess they like them though.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they necessarily do it on purpose sometimes, though, too. I wonder if they're digging a hole and they go to push up dirt.
Yeah.
And they grab it on accident. Or it snags or something.
Catches between their toes and they just.
They just.
Why is my foot so heavy? Oh, there's a fly. Oh, oops.
Oops. Whoops.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
For those of you that don't know, moles and gophers are very invasive. I don't know if they're native around here.
I don't.
I think somebody dumped them off once.
Yeah.
Because, this county, they have them, and, Mason County, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's this county and Mason County are the they're endangered, which
Oh,
they
endangered.
are far from endangered. Trust me.
That's not a problem.
Like
Trust me.
my uncle lives out in Oakville, and they don't even know what a pocket gopher is out there.
Yeah,
They just have moles.
that's all they have. Yeah, and that's the other thing. When you're trying to build something now,
Oh,
recent
good God.
experience. There's a lot of hoops in this county you have to jump through to build stuff, and I've just been kind of watching in the background again. It's my dad's project. It's sort of his deal. He wants another building put in so we could put farm equipment and other stuff in there for runoff. Just
Cold
in
storage
case.
building.
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's not even that because it's not even sealed.
Is it?
It's an open front with slider
Oh.
doors and gravel floor.
Oh, well, that's.
Even a building as simple as that.
Well, yeah, because it's bigger than 10 by 20 or
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever the
I think
requirement
it's.
is.
I think it's 10 by
10
20.
by 20.
Because we're building a shed for a guy that I don't think he had a permit for.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
it's just 10 by-
It's just under the
It's
limit.
it's whatever. I don't know what the size is exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's 10 by 20.
Yeah, I'm sure
Anyway,
it's- But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through, and one of those hoops is pocket gophers. It's such
yeah,
it's
one of our neighbors across the street over there,
yeah,
that big white house.
yeah.
They had to wait a year for their gopher, because that field in front of their house has all kinds of gophers in it, and
That's
yeah, it's ridiculous. It took them a year
A year
to get through the gopher permit process.
We've been trying to build a house, which is a big mistake in this county. We've been trying to build a house up at the farm.
Why do you think moved to Oakville?
Yeah. Oakville, for those of you not aware, is not in the same county.
45 minutes out to his house, probably.
Yeah.
So, it's really nice out there, actually. He's got a
Oakville, yeah,
creek
that area
through his
is-
property, which I'm jealous of because I always. That's one thing. If I ever buy a house, I want a body of water,
Body of water.
some kind, preferably a moving one, so it's not like nasty. But you know,
Yeah, you want a creek, or you want something like that. You don't want standing ponds.
yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we've been trying to build a house up there for
Good
a
luck,
long time, and it's been 2 years, I think, that we've
Oh,
been
jeez.
fighting over
gophers.
counties, gophers, and then they have these environmentalists, right?
Of course.
To come out there and assess whether or not something is a wetland. And of course, we live in
Jesus
the great state of
Christ.
Washington, so everything is a wetland.
Because it rains like
it rains.
what is it, like 97 inches a year or
It's
something?
ridiculous. Yeah, it's around there, and those numbers might sound foreign to you if you're from, I don't know, an Midwestern
Eastern
state,
Washington,
or
maybe?
Eastern Washington or something like that.
Anywhere east of here,
It's ridiculous here in Western Washington.
we get soaking wet constantly.
All
It's
the time. There's 3
ridiculous.
months of the year where we don't. That's it.
Yeah, that's all we get. Like when you have classic cars or anything,
Oh yeah.
you get 3 months to drive them
drive
out of the rain, and sometimes that's even spotty. Like today, it looks
Oh,
like it could rain
today it
right
looks like
now,
it could rain
but
right now, but it's literally June 29th as we're talking to you right now. I don't know. When
it
this
is supposed to rain on Sunday. Actually, it's
Yeah.
supposed to at least showers. I think.
Well, I heard like little showers, even today, possible, which is unfortunate because I'm trying to cut hay.
You don't need to cut hay. Just get rained on. It'll be fine.
Right up.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So
you were talking about your
houses. Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to build a house. We've been trying to
Mhm.
deal with that for a couple of years, and then we are kind of getting sick and tired of it because there's a lot of just really dumb laws and stuff like that that have been written to try and stop you from building a house.
Which is dumb because
Yeah.
I guess you have to be a big construction company and just throw money at everybody in the government
Which
to get
is
things
what,
done.
like, for instance, we're having
Which is just another thing that screws the little guy over.
exactly because we're having F&L. We have to have for dealing with the county. We're having F&L Industrial. I think that's their name, or is it just F&L? Building people. There's a car just went past. I'm not sure if that came on the thing, but
We'll see.
sorry, ADHD.
He
F&L.
saw a squirrel.
I
Don't
did.
mind him. We both do it. It's fine.
It's a problem. You're going to notice that a lot. Anyway.
A lot.
We had F&L deal with all of the permitting and stuff, and they had to like come out and check for if the post holes were the right depth and if the posts were set right. By the way, it sucks, pretty much. It sucks. Everything.
It's funny to me how much the code changes
Oh, it changes.
because, like, when we built
Constantly.
the shop,
Yeah.
the code was to put a full bag of concrete in the bag at the bottom of the hole and set the post on top of it.
Yeah.
And now that's not up to code anymore.
Nope.
Now it's different completely.
No. Now you have to. They didn't even do that this time around. What they did for the post holes was they dug them to a certain depth, set the posts in it, and then put bracing to hold the posts perfectly level
Yeah.
and everything.
Mhm.
and then you just have to pour concrete. You have a concrete truck come out there and pour the concrete, and you don't even do.
You don't mix it by hand?
No,
That sounds like so much fun, though.
no.
Yeah.
No, we probably could have saved money doing that, but I think the county wants what the county wants, which is
More
to
money.
use all the big guys, and use like regulated.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, regulated perfection. So it has.
So
to
they
be,
can
like,
get more money.
So they can get more money out
That's
of
the main reason the government does anything, is to get more
you. Get
money.
more money out of you, and that's something we anguish about all the time.
Before I forget, I was talking about pocket gophers
Yes,
and
pocket
gophers and moles. So they're really ugly little creatures that they live underground, obviously, and they'll push up little mounds in the middle of your hayfield, which sends dirt through every piece of hay equipment you own, which is really, really hard on like mower blades and baler blades.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and especially if you have any rock-based soil.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, it's the worst. They
So
push
right
up-
here, next to the fence, in our house is really like nice, like glacial till.
Yeah,
just
nice, good
brown,
soil.
dark soil. The further you get out there, because there's a gravel pit next door,
Yeah,
it's a pretty good indication how rocky it is out there.
yeah, nice.
Yeah, there's a gravel pit next door. So the further away from this house you get that way,
the worst.
the rockier and the sandier it gets.
Right.
Which is why the irrigation's out there right now, because I lost my train of thought.
drainage.
Yeah,
Rock
it drains too well.
Yeah, rock.
Which,
drains
like
too
you
good.
said yesterday,
Yeah,
nobody complains about the rock draining too well except for
Except for
farmers,
farmers.
because it takes all the moisture out of the soil.
yeah, and if you're not well versed in the haying side of things, if you're a farmer, a lot of the people that are going to be watching this probably are
Probably.
into farming in some kind of way, or they live out in the country somewhere.
Yeah.
If you don't understand what we're talking about, when we irrigate grass, because we're grass farmers, hay farmers, when you irrigate this kind of stuff, you want the moisture to hold, and then you want the sun to come out and do its job.
There's 3 things you need to dry hay. There's heat,
Heat.
low humidity, and wind.
And wind.
Those are the 3 things that will
And then to grow it, you need
heat,
heat
and moisture.
and moisture, which is the opposite of drying.
Mhm.
So we're
No, really.
yeah, really, isn't that something? Isn't it crazy?
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
So during the summer months, after we do knock down our first cuttings, we're going to be putting water down. And if you have rocky ground,
You're only on 1?
what?
This is our 3rd.
Your third cutting?
Yeah. Or 2nd.
This
Maybe
will be
there's
your
only
second.
1. I'll shut up now.
This should be your second. We just did our first, and we're
We did
irrigating.
haylage.
We're
Our
irrigating
entire
our
first
second.
cutting was haylage.
Yeah, that's what our first cutting is.
'Cause
We
we-
never do first cutting dry.
Yeah. Well, we tried it a couple years ago, and it's just the bales. I mean, they come out nice. They're
Yeah.
nice until you try and put them in a stack, and then they just slowly
Yeah.
squish down and fall.
Yeah. Yeah, don't.
And they don't stack on the bale wagon very well. Either.
No. I would imagine not. I should make a correction. It's not that we don't ever do first cutting dry. We do first cutting dry later. Usually we're doing first cutting haylage in June, and then we have to switch fields.
It depends on weather.
Yeah,
That's our
it's
main
all
problem here. Is if it doesn't quit raining. Wow, words.
Waning. Doesn't quit waning.
Jesus. If it doesn't quit raining until July, we can't get in the field till July. I mean, we can
Yeah.
get in the field. It's not that it's too wet to drive on or anything. It's just there's no sun to dry anything, so you can't get in there.
And,
Haylage, sometimes you can get away with it, but
Oh, yeah.
dry hay, there's no way.
No.
Like, what was it? Last year or the year before, nobody could get into their fields until like the middle of July.
For 2022,
22, yeah.
because 2023 was so dry
That everything dried out.
that everything dried out, and we could do hay in May.
Yeah, it was
That's how bad it was.
ridiculous.
2023 was by far, and according to Progressive Forage, which I don't know.
This guy knows what he's talking about. I have no idea.
According to Progressive Forage, which is a magazine you get every month or so, depending on, I don't know if you have to subscribe to. Assuming you have to subscribe to.
I would assume
Buy
so.
Equipment or something like that. Anyway, we get Progressive Forage, and according to Progressive Forage, in 2023, yield was bad. It was just bad all the way around.
It
And
was pretty bad. It was.
you could tell
dry.
everybody was down a certain percent, and of course us, we can on our controlled grounds we can irrigate, but if you're out doing custom work, which I'll get into later probably,
Even with the irrigation though, like, even with that going,
yeah,
there's 23 sprinklers on this side. Even with it going, the problem with us is we can't get across this part fast enough
Right.
to keep it
to keep it
watered.
which is yeah.
And like I said, that soil drains way too well
Yeah,
out
on the
there.
far side
So
out there.
even with the irrigation going 24/7, it still dried out because there was just big dead spots.
Big dead spot because you can't move it fast.
I mean, it came back this year, but you know what I mean. At the end of the summer, it just dries
doesn't
out.
die forever. It just dries out.
It just turns brown, and
You
then
can't
when you get snow and rain in the winter,
It'll come
if
back.
we get snow, which is a
Yeah,
big
which
if
is a big
sometimes.
if most of the time. You'd think from being up in the north we'd get snow. No.
Oh,
Not how it works. Up
back
here.
to pocket gophers for a minute.
Oh yeah, here we go.
So at the county shop right there,
Yeah, right down
there's a
there.
big gravel pit.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, I'm talking about the Thurston County Public Works main mechanic shop and like where they work on all the cop cars and everything
Yeah.
for Thurston County. It's huge. So there's a gravel pit back there. So they live trapped, I don't know, 40, 50 pocket gophers. They let them out.
Yeah.
They all scattered. About 100 birds came down and grabbed all of them.
Everything.
Everyone. They were like, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen. It's like, it's called natural selection.
That's what happens.
That's what government people don't understand. It's people that have never done anything,
Anything.
other than politics or management
Or
for stuff they don't like. They've never been farmers.
they've never. Yeah, exactly. They've never been farmers. They've never.
They
tended
don't
the
understand the
They don't
animals.
understand how nature works.
Yeah. So they do that and then they're like, oh, I didn't see that happening. It's like, literally every one of us could have told you that
Yeah,
was going to
yeah,
happen.
That's gonna happen.
But I don't know.
You know what pocket gophers do? They go underground. You know why
Mm-hmm.
they go underground? To avoid birds and stuff like that.
It's almost like they're designed to live underground or
Yeah,
something.
weird, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, back to hay and hay production. I think we go move into the segment.
Now that I distracted you.
Now that you distracted me.
You're
I think it's
welcome.
time to move into the segment where we talk about hay this year, stuff like that.
It's been better this year.
It's been better this year.
A lot better.
Right off the bat, first cuttings have been
Tremendous.
Actually, tremendous.
I think we
really
got-
good.
Oh, I don't know, 200 or 300
Yeah,
haylage bales off the whole place.
which is pretty good. If you don't know, hay
And we
round
have-
bales
Yeah,
can be anywhere from 4 to 6 feet, and they have a lot more hay in them.
I think
than-
ours are 5 feet.
Yeah, we use 5 foot. So our farms, if you don't know what we're talking about, how tall or your diameter of your round bale is pretty important to how much hay is in it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're making what's called a 5 foot bale, which is
4 by
what it
5s.
sounds like
4 feet
foot
wide.
wide by 5 foot tall.
That's what both of us do, I think.
Ours is a ours is a 6'4", so it does a 6 foot by 4 foot maximum. So yeah, we do 5x4s, and 5x4s round bales. I don't know what they hold. What do you think? 800 pounds of
Are
Yes.
the wet haylage
no
bales?
wets are like a
1,200 pounds
1,200 pounds a piece
at
yeah.
least.
12 to 15.
That's what ours normally are.
Ours are
Dry, probably
Dry is
8 to 900 pounds.
yeah.
somewhere
Because I
in
was
there.
gonna say when it
Because
goes
it depends on humidity and
right
how
when
dry
it goes
is.
into the bale. When it goes into the baler, it comes out of the baler. It's not been wrapped yet. It's not been fermented. It's probably 1,000 pounds.
Mhm.
If I had to guess, and then it adds weight.
As it ferments, yeah,
Because it gets
like a fine wine.
yes, and that's what the cows think of it. By the way,
It actually, you wouldn't think it actually smells really
they
good.
Smell good.
They
You would-
they smell very sweet when they're done. When
You
you
would
cut them
think,
open.
yeah, that's how you know when a bale is fermented because haylage is fermentation of hay. You do it, you bale it,
You bale it wet,
Wet.
and then you wrap it
You
so it
wrap
cuts
it
off
up.
all the oxygen.
and it just
And you want to make sure it cuts off all the oxygen because even if you get a little tear in it, it'll smell like mold
Yeah,
and it'll
and it will be
covered in mold.
and it will also be incredibly dangerous if you leave those open like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just let they can start fires.
Fire, yeah.
Fire is good.
I knew somebody, maybe I didn't know him. I heard of somebody, I guess, that put wow. Jesus. Okay.
Restart.
Yeah, let me try that again. They put wet square bales in their barn,
Yeah.
and the next day they woke up and it was on fire. And I was like, well, I could have told you that, but okay.
It's gonna happen. Check if you're buying hay, if you're a hay buyer out there. I don't know who's out there. This is a new thing, of course, but if
We
you're
don't
a
know
hay
if
buyer,
anybody's going to watch or listen to us.
somebody will.
Somebody
There
will.
will be somebody.
We'll see if it goes anywhere.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I hope so. Anyway, for those of you that aren't sure, I might have just lost my. No, yes. If you're a
Check
hay
your
buyer,
moisture.
if you're a hay buyer, check your moisture. If it's anything above 8 to, if it's anything above 14, 14 is the safe maximum. If it's anything
Maximum.
above, 14 is the max, by the way. If it's anything above 14, if it goes into the 20s or 30s is ridiculous. Most moisture
30, you shouldn't.
it's not even dry hay anymore. You
There's a
should.
story related to that
Oh,
too.
here we go. You shouldn't even be
Bailing it.
bailing it at 30. 'Cause
No.
the moisture meter won't even technically accurately register 30%.
Yeah.
And we're talking about percentages of moisture in a because it's a little prong.
Do you guys have the acid sprayer?
Yeah, we have
yours?
so on our
Okay.
3x3 square baler. Big
Yeah.
square baler. Has
We have ours.
acid applicator. Citric acid.
Yeah, the New Holland crop preserver.
Yeah,
That's what,
it's-
and it's like $1,500 a barrel now.
it's
It's ridiculous.
We have I don't know what we bought.
We both have moisture meters in our tractors that
Yeah.
tell us relative moisture in the bale as it goes
As it
through. Comes
So
out of the
on a
baler.
Square baler. Airplane.
I hope you can't hear the plane. I'm
Yeah.
sure you can, but
We're right underneath an airport's flyaway.
so it's really
Airport's, like,
convenient.
literally like over.
It's like a mile that way.
Yeah, it's
So-
literally right there. So
and it's really convenient.
Sorry.
There's a story related to that too.
oh, we're getting good. This is gonna be
So
good.
there's a 400-foot wide strip down the middle of our property where nothing can be built
oh yeah
because of a crash landing zone
Crash
for
landing zone,
airplanes,
whatever.
which is like, so thanks for devaluing our land.
Yeah, that's nice.
Without any input from us at all.
like
It's one of the things the government does to screw us over,
exactly yeah they tell you, hey, here's how this is gonna work.
and they don't give you any public forum or anything to try and fight it, because now that makes it worthless because it can only be open spaces.
That's
So I mean, obviously we're not going to build anything out there because that's our
No, that's-
livelihood. But
Right.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, but still
It's just
devalued
ridiculous.
instantly because it's a crash landing zone. It's dumb, but yeah, we have. I think moving back into hay stuff. Yeah, on a square
Distraction.
baler, because we did just get distracted. On a square baler, you can mount what's called a moisture meter, and it's usually it's two prongs in the bale chamber with two sets of wires that go up and run up to your monitor. Your
Yours
meter
might be
monitor.
fancier than ours.
Ours is a two-prong unit. It's
Ours is just the two bolt heads.
yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Because
it
I know they make them
They-
where it's like the wheel where it
one
actually
that-
stabs
yeah,
into it too.
which would be awesome.
That'd be
but-
better, but money's a thing,
Money's a thing.
and we're both poor, so
Yeah, so we have what's called it's Agritronics, which is the person that manufactures the one for
New Holland.
Yeah.
Ours says just it's the same thing. It just says
Same
New
thing,
Holland
so
printed on it
we
instead.
have one of those two for the big balers, but for the for our international baler or custom hay baler, it's just two basically carriage bolts
Yep,
going from the inside
carriage
to the
bolt
outside.
heads. Yep.
And there's like these isolated nylon pads and some nuts, and you put it all together, run two wires up all the way up the baler, all the way up to the if you have a cab driver.
Usually it's through the tongue.
Yeah, if it's through the tongue usually, which is
It will
ours
come
as
out
well.
through a grommet. There's another airplane.
Yeah, so moisture meters are crucially important to dry baling in general. You want them not to register anything above, like, ideally, if you're doing custom stuff, especially, you don't want to go above 10, really. You don't
Yeah.
really want it to go above.
We don't ever. If it says anything above 10, we usually stop and let it dry out more.
Yeah.
Like
This is
the
not dry enough.
because on a moisture meter, if it reads below 8% moisture, it doesn't even register.
Yeah, they can't, and that's what I was getting into. They won't accurately read above 30 or above even 25, and they won't read.
Which
they won't read.
you're not
accurately
supposed to
below
punch that. That's kind of important
Yeah.
to what we're
to
doing
what
here.
we're doing here.
Yeah, you maxed it out. See.
Yeah, look,
Good
that was
job.
me. That was my watch hitting.
Anyway.
by the way.
What was I saying?
We were talking about moisture and the.
Oh, yeah.
Below 8%.
Okay, you don't want it. Usually we try to not bale anything above 10, because usually when we bale it's 0 the whole time, and it'll pick up 8.5 like every 30 strokes or
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever.
Just randomly.
Yeah, you
But,
want to.
like the first row is different because usually we just put the acid on the outside windrow anyway,
Yeah.
just because it's the thickest. So
And it's usually always the wettest when you're baling because of ground moisture and stuff like that.
yep. So we just spray the outside row anyway. There's another plane. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but
Yeah, well, that one's actually quieter. I don't even know if it's picking
Yeah.
it up. But, yeah, so
moisture.
moisture, it's important. The reason it's important is not only for nutrients and stuff like that, but also for fire.
Because, all that moisture gets packed into a bale, and then I don't know how the science works.
It heats up.
It just starts heating up, and then it'll get to the combustion point of the hay, and it'll just...
Yeah, and it'll just boom. And it's similar, I think. I'm not a scientist or anything, and I don't claim to have read anything about this in the past, but...
Neither am I. We don't know anything.
Yeah, but I think it's very similar to kind of how, like, a greenhouse gets hot.
Probably.
Moisture gets in there.
Yeah,
and
that makes
sunlight
sense.
hits it and stuff like that. And basically, there's nowhere for the heat to go.
We could just look it up.
Actually, we can look it up. Science. We can. Actually,
Don't do it on there. Do it on your phone.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Don't mess stuff up. Come on now.
Well, it shouldn't mess anything up, but
The camera shut off.
I know it's fine. So,
Well-
because it died.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's how professional we are.
That's how professional. we
See,
are.
I told you we'd run out of video
We
halfway
ran out
through
of
the
video halfway through.
podcast.
If you're hearing this now and the video went black, I probably put a photo of us sitting here right now and just pretend it's video. That's all I want you to do. But anyway, it's a podcast.
You probably don't want to look at our ugly mugs anyway.
It's a podcast. You probably weren't even watching, for being totally honest. So
Yeah, you probably just put it on in the background and listen to
but
it.
you're probably watching right now because you click back on the tab to see that it actually did go black,
There you go.
and then
That's probably why.
that's probably what you're doing right now. You're probably looking at this going, "Oh, wow, the video is gone." And it's
There's
not
two
big.
stationary people sitting
Yeah,
there.
that's weird.
You could you should make a banner for like the Old Souls podcast,
That's a good idea.
and then just put that there when we don't have
Sure,
video.
we'll do that.
That's a good idea.
I'm going to do that.
Sometimes,
The channel has to be
very rarely, I have good ideas like that.
the channel has to be built anyway, so I got to build it when I'm
And
building
you gotta
it.
put a logo.
I'm gonna do
yeah.
logo and all that stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, if you're watching this now, you're seeing something, and it's not the video, but it doesn't matter. The video is
The podcast is still going. That's the
podcast
only
will
thing that
still go,
matters.
and
So
I'm about to read why. Why does wet hay?
catch fire.
Why does wet? Why?
Yeah, it's a very serious thing if you don't know, because obviously fire, and there's been plenty of people that don't pay attention to the moisture, and then when they forget that, wet hay catches on fire, then their barn burns down, and obviously
Yeah.
that's a very serious thing.
So what it looks like is it has to do a lot with high moisture actually allowing mold and stuff to grow.
Oh.
So what it says is the high moisture as it's trying to respire, which is as hay sweats off moisture. As it's doing that, the moisture starts to actually get warm inside the bale, and it starts to allow mold and funguses and stuff like that to grow, and then that
Interesting.
is what causes your high moisture directly and kind of indirectly
Just because
causes
it can't get out.
just because the moisture can't get out. Yeah, so
So,
it's like
yeah.
it's trying to get out, it's heating up, and it has nowhere to go.
Because, I mean, even when you have dry hay, sometimes it'll heat up, but it'll get to a point where it gets as hot as it's going to get because all the
Right.
moisture's gone.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we've had that happen before where you stick your hand in between one of the flakes and it's warm. It's not hot, but you can feel that it's warm.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get any hotter than that,
Mhm.
which is what you want.
Which is what you want. If it's not a bad thing to have warmth on the inside of a bale. It's only bad if it starts getting excessive. And if you baled it,
Especially, like, if you can stick your hand in there and you can't hold it in there for 5-10 seconds
yeah,
because it's so hot,
Because it's
that's a
hot.
problem.
That's a problem.
You need
and
to spread it out.
You need to get rid of that bale or something.
Usually, if we do that, we just spread it out so that there's, I don't know, half a foot between them, and then stack them like that so that they cool down.
Cool down,
Or
yeah.
so the moisture can get out so they can cool down.
Yeah, which is another important thing. Hay sweating. That's something you have to do. That's something you have to consider. Truck just went by.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Yeah, that's something else to consider. This is all just important stuff to remember. We'll just hit these talking points really quickly. If you're a hay buyer, first thing you should check is moisture immediately. As soon as you
Absolutely.
get there, you should invest in a moisture meter because it will probably save you money down the road.
Especially if it prevents your barn from burning
Yeah,
down. That's
especially if it
important
prevents your
for
barn. That's
sure.
The first thing, and the second thing is if the person tells you, "Yeah, I baled it dry," and you get there and you start probing it, and it's reading like 20% or something like that in some of the bales.
Anything above 10,
yeah,
honestly.
anything above 10.
Actually, anything above 12, because we have had it at 10 before. So
And it's fine. Yeah, and it's fine. It's fine to like 11 to 12. 12 is probably my maximum, but I would rather bale it under 10 if I can.
And if we do it at 12, we spray it with that.
Applicator, yeah.
Yeah,
The
the
New
crop
New
saver.
Holland Crop Saver. And
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but in the background, we have a neighbor that has like 35 dogs.
oh my gosh,
I don't know why he does. He's
That's what
running
that
like
is?
a puppy mill, basically. That's what that noise is, yeah. So, yeah. We called animal control, and they basically can't do anything about it.
oh, nice.
I filed a noise complaint with the sheriff, but you know how that goes.
Yeah,
Nothing happened. Nothing ever comes of it.
Right.
But
That's loud.
oh, there's another truck. But yeah.
Yep.
And there's another plane. So
Oh, it's really
just
good timing.
give it a minute.
Give it a minute.
We're so professional. We could have just done this inside, but
That's true.
it's nicer out here.
But I like sitting outside. And it kinda
It's
gives-
authentic.
it gives authenticity.
Wow, I can't
It's
speak.
authentic, is what I was trying to say.
That was the word I was trying to say.
Because this is how we will probably be doing this podcast for the rest of all time.
Outside somewhere.
Outside. And yeah, I know the noise cancellation is not great, but you get the sounds of the birds.
You get the authentic experience
Yeah,
and the
it's-
35 dogs barking.
Yeah, that too. They
Which
do,
is
they do
really
shut
annoying.
up after a minute.
We had him get out, or he had him get out a few days ago.
Really?
Yeah, they were. So we have an easement behind this house back here.
Yeah.
And they were going into that easement and running around in our field. And they were up here. They came up here. We chased them out.
Yeah.
They came back. I was in Adna at the
Oh,
time. And poof, my train of thought just left again. Wow.
You're
Oh,
gonna,
they got out again. And then I started coming home and they got out again.
again.
So I grabbed my 12 gauge
Oh yeah.
and I just shot up in the air, and they seemed to respond to
Respond
that
to
pretty
that.
well. So
Yeah. That's one way to deal with it.
they went away. They haven't been back since, because the owner was like, "Oh, well, maybe I should actually pay attention to these things and come get them."
Yeah, maybe.
Because
Maybe.
they were all over my neighbor's place. Because they were getting out on that fence line over
Oh,
there,
yeah, over
between that place and my neighbor.
Yeah, and I know you viewers won't be able to see any of this, but I can.
No way.
And basically, he's pointing at a fence line that is just to the front of where we were just facing, to the left side. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
not
really annoying.
that is highly annoying.
I did file a noise complaint, and as I was on the phone, I saw the sheriff's deputy I was talking to drive by and stop over there. So, they can't do anything unless there's a bunch of noise complaints, which is
Yeah.
dumb.
Which I don't know. That's kind of dumb.
Anyway, we were talking about moisture and hay
Yeah,
bales
moisture
and
and
stuff.
hay. Basically,
We saw a squirrel.
we did. I'll just finish out what we were saying. So we said moisture is important. That's the first thing you need to cover. Poundage, like how many pounds each bale is. That's
Mhm.
pretty important if you're a buyer.
We try to make ours. We have a lot of older people.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you probably want to make them for 50.
depends on what you
45.
call old, but we try to make ours between. I think he tries to make them like 50 or 60 pounds,
Yeah.
somewhere in
This
there.
is where that's about where we do 50 to 60 pound bales, and that's
Which is good for the farmer because, you get more bales, which
More bales.
obviously is more money.
yeah. And you
But-
can charge the same amount that you would for a 2-string
yeah.
70-pound bale, for instance, or something like that.
Especially, like, both of us, we know because people, both of us have, you said, right? Both of us have customers
Mhm.
that send our hay into a lab and
Yeah,
have it
so-
tested so we know the protein and everything.
That's a big thing we wanted to talk about. We discussed this last night as a topic for the podcast, but
We were having a conversation, well, we weren't having we were texting each other back and forth last night talking about this, and
this is something that's, if you're a customer and you want to help a farmer out, or you want to help the farmer that you're buying the hay from just a little bit something extra, take their hay into a lab. This is actually, like, I know it sounds like, oh,
sounds like a lot of work.
it sounds like a lot of work, and it sounds like, oh, then they're going to be like, well, why are you taking... No, they actually will probably enjoy it, because
If they make good hay.
if they make good hay,
If they make bad hay,
if they
then
make
they
bad hay,
probably
they
won't
might
like
have,
you very much.
They might have a phone call or two with you over that. But taking a farmer's hay into a lab that
That's
he's farmed for you, and you ask, of course, you ask permission first, but it's a really good way to help the farmer out, because that'll give you your protein reports, that'll give you your reports for the quality of the grass at the time of the lab test. It'll give you a lot of information, like your pH values and stuff. That can help. I think you can. That's mainly for dirt, but it will tell you how healthy, like the lab
Your
test,
soil is,
Your
yeah.
soil. That's another thing. That's the farmer's responsibility.
Yeah, my grandpa did He said there's an equation for it. I can't remember what it was. I don't even know if he told me. I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
But he said there's an equation you can do to tell how much nitrogen and how much phosphorus, like the big three,
Yeah.
potash, phosphorus,
and
nitrogen. For those of you that aren't farmers, those are the three things you need to grow most plants, especially hay, is phosphorus, potash, and nitrogen. Those are the three nutrients in your soil needs to grow healthy plants.
Yeah.
But that will tell you, the equation will tell you how much per crop
Yeah.
out of that section or whatever, that acre, or however many acres there is, how many each crop takes. So you know how much you need to apply after each cutting.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Or per year, or however you do it.
Yeah, however you do your fertilizing, that will tell you how much of a certain nutrient you need to be putting down on the ground.
Because there's many types of fertilizer. There's many types of natural fertilizer, like crap from different animals.
Yeah, exactly.
There's cow manure, which is high in nitrogen, but not the other two.
Yeah.
There's pig manure, which is, I don't know a lot about pig manure because we don't have a lot.
Has
Chicken is the best because it has all three.
all three. Yeah.
There's another plane flying over.
Hold on. That was a loud one. Again.
Oh.
A mile away from there.
No, I really don't.
Yeah, no. I figured. Sucks.
What I was saying was,
Right, get back to
chicken manure is the best because it has all three, and if you do like Joe Tellers,
Yeah.
he does one crop a year, and he actually cut some yesterday, which was surprising because usually he waits until July.
Yeah, which is what like most people used to wait till July to cut their hay.
He does one cutting, and he says that if he gets chicken manure, it lasts him about 3 years before he has to, before the nutrients run out from that application. Briarwood, the chicken farm down in Rochester.
Oh yeah.
They offered Mike a full barn's worth of chicken manure for free. Free, because they're leaving.
Oh.
Yeah, that farm's closing. They're selling it because of the governor's egg mandate with the. For those of you that don't live in Washington.
Yeah, there's this
which
guy.
I don't know how many people will be watching this from outside our state because it's just two idiots talking.
This is
but
a pretty local type of podcast, I think.
We'll see if it goes in.
But if there's any farmers out there in the Midwest that want to hear about our kind of farming,
our struggles.
Yeah.
Our governor, Jay Inslee, thought it would be a great idea to mandate that every egg sold in the state of Washington has to be cage-free, which had the effect of... What? Are you eating your hand?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Yeah, I am eating my... The camera's not on right now, and I'm kind of glad it is, because I just went full bore onto my
He
hand.
just went, ow.
I was like, apparently I'm that hungry right now, I guess. I don't know.
I told you I'd make you a burger,
We'll
man.
get there.
Jeez.
We'll get there. We gotta finish this up first.
Our governor thought it would be a good idea to make all eggs cage-free in the state of Washington, which drove the price of eggs up, I don't know, $1, $2, $3, $4, I don't know how much
Somewhere
it is.
around there.
A lot.
I looked it up, actually.
And then it's driving all of our chicken farms out of the state, at least out of this side of the state, because this is where the crazy people are.
Yeah, this is where they live, and I just, this year versus, let's pick a year, 2019 probably. Would be a good year. I'm just curious,
What the price of
egg
eggs were.
prices by year.
There you go. That'll work.
Let's go to this one. So, they have shot up, actually.
Jesus, look at that.
So, all right, if we look at numbers, egg prices in 2018, this is a pretty good year to start with, was about, average, was about $1.74
Per egg?
per egg,
Okay.
I think, right? Yeah,
That should be,
that's it.
yeah.
That's right. And then it shot up to $2.85.
So over $1.
So this is including, I think
That was in 2022.
that's in 2022. That's not even this year. And then that's including other states other than our own, too. But we might have had a big part to do with that.
Well, I mean, the president probably had something to do with
That
that too,
too.
with his massive inflation. But
Yeah, that too. $2.85.
not to get too political,
Right.
which
but
I'm
that-
sure we will. But
there will be a point, but that is adjusted for inflation, it said, so.
okay. But still,
Not a
that's a
dollar.
lot. That's $1.
That's $1 an egg, mind you, and you're buying a carton of 12 or so.
Which is what? $12.
12. Well, no.
If you buy,
it would if you bought them in 2018, they would have been roughly $12 to $14.
so now they're $24.
So now they're actually more than that. So they're about 34 average in 2022. It was 34
For 12?
For 12, $34.
Damn, that's a hell of an increase.
Yeah, versus like 14 or 16,
That's ridiculous.
and it's only worse now because that graph kept going up.
Oh yeah, everything, but that's
Oh.
with everything though,
Local news.
especially fuel.
Local news. This just in. This actually might have already sold out. Milk went down to 99 cents at Tenino Market Fresh.
Really?
Yeah, for the first time in I don't know how long. You could get a gallon of milk for 99 cents.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I don't know if it's because they just had too much of it, or I don't know what the deal is there. But yeah, but eggs, that's ridiculous. So that means that farm's closing down because they can't deal with, of course, having to do cage-free chickens or whatever, and they're probably just tired of it.
Yep.
And so they're shutting down, and that
It's probably cheaper to do business in like Idaho or Montana
Oh, I'm sure.
anyway. So I think I don't know how big Briarwood is, but they are closing. I don't know.
I don't know. I actually don't know how big Briarwood Farms is, but I know that
We'll figure that out for next week.
yeah, it's big enough. It's big enough.
We should have a notepad. You want me to go get you a notepad so you can write stuff down?
Maybe.
Use your phone. There you go. There's notepads
Actually,
on your phone,
here we go.
right?
Notepad. Briarwood Farms size
Perfect.
is going to be on that notepad.
Okay. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a struggle around here because our state has, I think, the highest fuel price in the nation average.
Oh,
now,
it is.
Other
Yeah.
than California, which
Makes
we're pretty close with California.
close.
Big surprise
So
there.
if we look at
I think the national average is $3.50 or something. But our state, like anywhere around us, especially, it's diesel's like almost $4. At the truck stops, it's like $3.85 or something,
Yeah, it's
somewhere in there. And then like if you go to a small place like Tenino, it's like, or actually the Safeway in Centralia has it for $3.33 or $3.32 for diesel,
Diesel,
which
Really?
is cheap. Which I was surprised.
That
which
is actually surprising
probably
'cause
what
you
made the
wanna
injectors go out in my truck was cheap diesel.
know. It's probably water.
Probably,
They're selling
honestly.
you water over there at the Centralia Safeway.
We don't know that for sure, but
Tenino Market Fresh. Because I bet you're about to be surprised by this.
Are they cheap?
No,
Oh, well, like Scott Lake Grocery is expensive too.
so it's four. Okay, so the place that I go to get my diesel all the time because it's really close to me, it's $4.39.
Jeez,
$1
that's-
markup.
Well, I'm sure it's the same at South. Wow, I cannot talk today. This was a great day for a podcast.
Good day for a
My
podcast.
brain is all over the place.
Can't tell.
Scott Lake Grocery, that place.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's over $4.50
I'm
there.
sure.
Usually the small gas stations mark it up a lot
Well, yeah, because
it costs more for
it
them.
costs more for them to make.
Which is, yeah, I understand it, but still, it's like, really? That's $1.
Yeah, I know. And back in the day, way back, diesel or not diesel, fuel stations out across the country used to have. I think they used to be able to buy it. Didn't they used to be able to buy their own fuel? Without
I have
having to
no
go
idea
through-
how it works. You're asking
Yeah.
the wrong person.
I don't know either. But anyway, I'm gonna sound dumb here, but I don't know.
Like we don't do that already?
Market Fresh diesel, or Market Fresh, Tenino Market Fresh fuel doesn't use.
Make up your mind.
Yeah, I'll get there. What I'm trying to say is Market Fresh fuel doesn't use like.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right. But what I was getting at was Market Fresh fuel doesn't use a Texaco, and they don't use anything like that. They just use their own brand of fuel. Off he goes. Into the door behind me. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Yo. What are you doing?
You want me to go pick up some nitrates that are
I got it already. It's at the farm. I'll be there after I'm done here. I'm with my buddy right now.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll be there for like 3.
Okay, 3,
2:30 maybe.
2:30. All right, well that works.
Alright.
Okay, I'll see you there.
Okay.
Bye. Phone call. I think we'll get into projects in a minute here. Upcoming projects, stuff like that. So, let me. Sorry to fill this full of useless space here. Up next, up next is our next segment. I think we're going to move into, since we've talked about hay. Let's wrap up this one. Oh, here he comes. Come back through the door.
Uh-oh.
Here he is. All right.
What'd I miss?
Nothing. Not much. I got a phone call, which was luckily right in between.
You got a phone call?
I did get a phone call
From who?
from my cousin.
Did you tell him we're doing a podcast?
I told
And
him
to
that
leave
I
you
was
alone?
here. No, I got a phone call because he was talking about needing to pick up High Train on the way back, but I already got it today, so don't need to do that. I think
Did you take a phone call in the middle of our podcast?
Yes.
Perfect.
However, it was like break time because you went to the restroom.
Oh, okay, I see.
So I took the phone call and I talked, and then I came back.
Oh, did you pause it for a minute?
No, but I'm gonna cut out that part.
Oh, that's probably a good idea.
It's cool. Anyway,
Because it's cool.
because I have technology. But anyway, yeah, I think let's move into current projects. Did we finish what we were talking about already?
I don't remember. I went to the bathroom. You expect me to remember what we were talking about before that?
Yeah, no. I don't
That's
remember.
good, because I don't.
Yeah, because he doesn't. But I was talking about. Oh yeah, that's
Price
right.
of fuel or
Fuel
something?
stations, price of fuel.
Something like that.
Basically, our state's the highest in the nation.
Oh, it's
close to the
pretty
highest.
bad.
It's
We
pretty
have, I think it's like $1. It's like 95 cents.
It's ridiculous,
Of
and it's all
tax.
because of taxes. It's all a tax thing.
The governor promised when he was elected 87 years ago, or whenever it was,
Yeah, however long ago it was.
that he would never raise our taxes, and he's lied like 30. I think Culp last year when he was running, or last time around when he was running, said he's lied like 33 times.
Yeah, and he's just continually kept putting taxes on stuff, and
It's not like they actually put it towards stuff that matters. It's just
No.
his all his little pet projects that he loves so much that they
Yeah.
put it towards that, and
and it's
not
stuff that
towards the
benefits.
people that give it to him.
It's not. It's like rarely, if at all, for the benefit of us.
I think that's the problem with the government now, is like they forget that it's our money
Yeah.
that pays everything.
Yeah, that pays for
Everything.
their salaries.
Well, it's sad. I saw a video on Facebook,
Oh yeah.
that one where that news anchor on Newsmax or whatever it was talking about how, if you really start to stop and think about it, we work from like January to June for free because of all the taxes.
Because well, oh yeah.
I mean, you think about it, how much you get taxed. You get taxed on everything you buy. You get taxed on your income. If you make any money in the stock market or anything, it's capital gains.
It's taxed, yeah.
If you're left anything, inheritance tax.
Yeah.
If I think that's 5 taxes right there.
4 or 5 taxes, yeah.
Yeah,
Is that right? 4?
I don't
4
know.
taxes, I think it was. A lot
But then
of
you're
taxes.
taxed on your tabs to
Oh, yeah, that's
drive on
right.
the roads.
Drive on the road.
You're taxed when you buy fuel.
Yep.
That's a lot of taxes. And when you think about it, like, you give a lot of your money to the government, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't use it for stuff for you,
No.
which is pretty sad.
It's or they use it to fund ridiculous laws or bills or stuff like that don't need to be in place.
That-
or whatever.
Want them, or that they use to then collect more taxes.
Yeah. Exactly. Like Inslee has done for the last.
Many, many, many times.
Oh yeah. And we were promised $30 tabs.
So they did give us $30 tabs, but
But
then they tacked on 15 more fees. Not 15, you know what I mean.
it's
I'm exaggerating for
exaggeration,
comedic
but
effect. It's
a bunch more fees.
5 or 6 different fees now
Yeah.
that they added to get them back up. Like, I just got the notice for my 89.
Yeah.
It's like $130
Oh, yeah.
or 105, 110, somewhere in there.
It's 100. I think I paid 100.
Because we didn't have tonnage before. before
No.
the $30 car tabs thing. That was the thing they added to make up for the difference. They're like, we're gonna give you your car tabs for $30, and then they added tonnage, so it's
yeah.
like $100.
So
I think tonnage for that thing was $83 or something.
yeah, it's if you drive big heavy stuff like we do, it's expensive. It gets spendy, and I think they do that. I'm sure they do that
To collect more money.
to collect more money from the people that drive trucks
Yeah.
because they know. Just a thought.
They say it's for the roads, but
Mm.
they never taxed us on that before.
Mm-mm. And the
It's
roads
just
are
because
fine.
they wanted to find another way to squeeze money out of us.
Yeah,
That's the only reason they did
literally
it.
And the roads
pretty
were
sad.
fine before, but I don't know. It's ridiculous, but yeah, I think we're moving out of that segment. Let's move into projects.
Here we go.
Here we go. We've got a lot of projects. Everybody's got a lot of projects.
You got a lot more projects
I
than
have
I
a
do.
lot of projects. He's
With
got
your
one right
87
now.
bulldozers.
Yeah, well, if you can call those projects, they're kind of
They're not projects.
they're
I'm just...
kind of sitting there.
Yeah, you need to get rid of a few of them.
I do.
You could make
context.
so much money off of that.
Well, you say that, but
Maybe. I
the
don't know.
newer bulldozers, like the only bulldozers that you can sell for good money now are the later model ones.
Oh, really?
Stuff that has like auto grading and
Well, then sell those.
stuff like that. And so the older ones don't really make as much money because if you just we bought I don't know they probably bought those back in the 80s, not 80s, 90s and early 2000s. If I had to guess, that's just a ballpark. I don't know. But they've been in there ever since we moved to modern ditch plows and stuff like that for fiber install for internet. They've just been sitting in there ever since, and they probably bought them. If I had to guess, because we buy everything from auction and whatever. They probably didn't buy them for that much, but adjusted for inflation, if you probably tried to sell them, you'd probably break even.
That's true. Inflation is a big thing.
And because we bought them so long ago,
They were worth less.
they were worth less, and now
and now they're
still
worthless.
worth nothing, because they don't have. For anyone that doesn't know, and there's a lot of people that don't know about this industry, but these dozers don't have regular blades or regular winches or anything like that, like a normal, regular old dirt grading dozer. These have been completely converted to run essentially these weird looking fork things on the front to hold up to 2 to 4 cable spools, and then that runs up over the top of the cab and down the back with a ditch plow. And they have no blade. The blades are missing. They haven't been there for years. And so these dozers are basically they're a dozer without any dozer stuff. If that makes any sense.
They
They're
just
not
pull
really-
a cable
They
plow.
pull a cable around and they pull a big giant single plow. That's all they do.
Yeah, you should explain how that process works for people that don't know.
For people that don't know, installing, I think this was back in the day. I don't know much about this industry as much as I should. It's a family business. I should know more.
You really should.
But what I do know is that nowadays we're using small ditch plows to install fiber communication line,
Fiber optic.
fiber optic cable.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever struck in fiber optic cable, if you're digging out on your piece of property,
Strucken?
yeah,
That's
struck.
some grammar there.
If you've ever struck a fiber optic cable line, you know what it looks like. It's rainbow. A lot of colors.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's
Please
a bad
call
idea.
before you dig.
811. Call
811,
before you
call
dig.
before you dig, because that is
It's
so
a
many,
pain for
so
everybody
many-
involved.
So many of our service calls have been. There was this one service call, and I still remember this because it was one of the first ones I've ever been on with anybody. And again, I'm just like kind of their employee. of
Because
the phone company.
he's
I'm a family member.
yeah.
So, for family members like me who don't really have a job there, but are there as a backup member, like crew member, if somebody's not present, that's basically what I am. And so I show up when we need more crew members. Well, this one day I just vividly remember being told, "All right, you need to get in the truck," and it was me, my cousin, and I. My cousin was not in Nebraska yet, so we were probably 16 or so.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, all right, when you get in the truck, we're going to go up. We just got a call. Somebody lost internet or something like that. I don't remember. Or they knew.
I see where this is going.
They knew that they struck. They were digging post holes, I believe.
Oh,
Or
well, that makes
fence post
sense.
holes. And they
Does it
they
have
struck a
like
fiber optic
electricity?
line. No. So the cool thing about fiber optics,
So it won't
for
kill
those
you.
that don't know, no, it will not.
Oh, good.
Old underground line, I think, was electric.
I don't
or
know.
something
Don't
like
look
that,
at
I
me.
don't remember.
You're
Anyway,
the friggin'
Old
you-
underground
yeah.
line was very different. Today, we use the power of light to communicate. That's
Mm-hmm.
literally what fiber optic is. So the fiber optic line is like almost as thin as a hair, not quite, and you shoot light through one side, and it immediately, at the speed of light, goes to the other side of this little tiny, basically fishing line looking thing. And we use very specific pulses of light and stuff like that to send out communication, and that's how you get really fast internet is through fiber optic cable.
Learn
Because
something new every day.
yeah,
I
that's
had no
something-
idea.
Something that you learn. That's why we do it. It's all for internet and for
Speed.
speed, pretty much. Yeah, we get pretty fast speeds out of it. So, but it's underground, and usually there's a way to tell where the fiber optic line is. Not always, and that's why you always got to call before you dig, because if
Have
you're
a locate done.
yeah, have it locate, have the fiber optic line located. There, it's super easy to be done. You just call.
It's cheap.
It's cheap, and
It's
once
a lot
you-
cheaper than hitting the
Oh, yeah.
cable.
Oh yeah, because we'll bill you. We will bill you for doing that because
Because
That's
you're the
expensive.
reason that they're
we're the
out.
reason
That you're out there.
We are the reason that line's in the ground, and they are the reason that we have to go out there and spend fuel
Fix
and
it.
whatnot and fix it. So anyway, this one day, I think they were drilling fence post holes or doing something. They had a backhoe out too, so I think that's backhoe or excavator. I don't remember the exact details because it was a while ago. But
Mhm.
what I do remember is something to do with fence posts. They're putting up fence posts, and
Not surprising.
they didn't call before they dug. They didn't.
Homeowner special.
Yeah, it's like one of those deals. And
Oh yeah, we had that all the time.
yeah, and they didn't call. They didn't do anything. They just started digging. I think it was like, I don't remember what it was like a house up in there's like this gravel drive. It's like a hill,
Mhm.
big hill. You go up it, you turn down the road off the highway, you go up this gravel hill, and it kind of snakes a little bit, and then it's kind of towards the top, not all the way to the top of the hill, but towards the top. There's a couple houses, a house down on the right, and then there's the house that did it up on the left, the culprits. And they were just kind of like standing around, looking concerned or whatever. I don't, this is all I remember. And I just remember showing up. I had a shovel with me. And
I
walked out there.
figured you'd probably have a shovel.
And then my dad was driving the mini excavator because that's what we use for small jobs like that. He pulls it off the trailer, and I just remember like very confused, concerned looking individuals, like standing around this.
I
hole.
would imagine.
Then they were like not comprehending what was going on. There were people like coming and going, family members and stuff. It looked like coming and going, and all I remember was like they were like discussing in kind of like whispers, like what's going on here, or whatever. Like you could barely hear it. Like they're like they were just like, what did we do? Did we do something like really bad, or like not
Yeah,
like that? But
you
like
did.
you like they weren't saying that. You couldn't hear them, but they were like. There was like kind of the look on their faces.
They didn't know what to do.
They didn't know
basically.
what to do. And they were
yeah.
like quiet. And we just came in there, looked down and saw the rainbow spaghetti mess that was all cut up down in the hole from the whatever they were digging, excavator, backhoe, whatever, little tiny thing. And we were just like, well, we're gonna have to fix it. So we just started. We started digging with the shovel a little bit, and then we started using the mini excavator to kind of bore the hole out a little bit back, and then we put in a splice. So we had our splicing guy, which is my uncle. He had his splicing rig set up. He has a van, a Ford Transit actually, E350. It's a
Good.
cabin
That's
chassis.
an Econoline.
Yes. Well, actually, no. E350 is in Econoline. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Transit
A
350.
T150.
I guess you can call it a
T350.
T350. It's a Transit
That's what they are.
350 HD dually cabin chassis.
It's a big van.
And it's the one of the EcoBoosts. Anyway,
It's a biggin.
it's a big boy.
It's a baggin.
Well, it's designed so he can walk in the back. It's got an AC unit on the top.
That's cool.
And he can sit there and he can splice fiber optic line, and he has all the splicing equipment and everything in there.
That's
we
cool.
used to run what was called splicing trailers, which is like a insulated, almost like a car hauler trailer.
Like a cargo trailer.
Yeah, one of those
Yeah.
insulated cargo trailer with an AC unit. But he had this one set up. He had this van, the bed and stuff built for it. Had that set up, so
Well, that's probably a good idea to
Yeah.
use that then
It's-
instead of trailer.
it's pretty nice because you can just drive up there and not have a backup trailer or nothing like that.
Mhm.
So he came up there, and I just remember looking at him splicing and just thinking that has to be the most tedious.
Oh, I bet.
Because those fibers they're just
They're fibers.
They're fibers.
There's a reason they're
just
called fibers.
A little bit bigger than a human hair, and he has to sit there and splice each color back to each color. And this is like splicing jig that you like tie it around. And you do all this, and then you splice it together, and it's got a grease.
Like wiring a trailer with the 7-wire trailer plug.
It's even more.
But there's like hundreds of them.
But there's 100 and some odd of them, like hundreds.
That's a lot of wires to
sitting there,
splice.
like, just sit there, and it's like this coupling device. It's like, I don't remember what it looked like, but it was a while. But yeah, you splice it all back together, and then you put this like grease coupling, or it has like dielectric grease or whatever on it,
Yeah.
so that it protects it. And you put this coupling over it, it like squishes out, and then you bury it back in the ground. You put a sometimes you have to put a marker there or something like that. I don't remember the exact details again. I'm not as good.
Here comes another plane.
Yeah, here it comes. I'm not as good in this industry as I should be.
You'll probably learn.
I'll learn eventually, but right now, what I do know is it was hot, and
I really hope the planes aren't too loud.
Yeah, I hope not. All I do remember
Anyway.
was it was hot, and it was on a service call, so not everybody's too happy about it because they broke the fiber, and so we have to come up there and fix it.
And they have to pay for it.
They have to pay for it, so nobody's.
Well, I mean, if they shouldn't have hit it. If they're
Yeah.
that mad about it,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have hit
And
it.
they weren't. I shouldn't say they were mad, but they were
Disappointed.
disappointed in themselves.
Well, I mean, they shouldn't have hit it. That's the bottom line.
It seemed like it.
If you wouldn't have hit it, if you would have called and had it located,
Had it located, yeah.
you wouldn't have hit it now, would you?
Wouldn't have had that problem. So I think we'll move into the last segment for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time for the marketplace finds.
Oh, here we go.
This is going to be awesome. This is my favorite. This is something that we created last night in our heads through text.
Well, you did. You had the
I
idea for
had
this.
the idea, and then we decided to run with it. So this is the marketplace finds of the week. I'm going to start you off with Wyatt because his finds.
What do I do? I don't know what I'm talking about. There's the peacock.
Oh man.
So that neighbor that we were talking about earlier that has all those dogs has 2 peacocks also. He's got 2 donkeys, 2 peacocks, a bunch of pigs, and 30-something dogs.
So basically, it's the most noisiest place.
Oh, and it smells like poo all the time.
Oh, good.
See, I caught myself so you didn't have to beep it out.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So on marketplace is where I spend a lot of my time.
And
sometimes
so
he
there's an inside joke.
yeah,
We go to school together at
We do.
Centralia College for Diesel Tech, and everybody that knows him knows he has an unhealthy addiction to 2-stroke Detroits.
2-stroke Detroit diesel engines.
If you don't know what that is,
Look it up.
you should Google it. Yes,
Google it and
it is a diesel engine. So you have your normal 4-stroke,
Yeah,
which
so-
is 4 strokes,
We'll
obviously.
explain it. So your normal diesel engine has four strokes in the combustion process. You have intake, compression, power, and exhaust. So basically, you're drawing air in. It's not really drawing on a diesel, I guess. The air is coming into the cylinder, and then it gets compressed, and then it gets combusted,
Yeah, because diesels don't have vacuum
and because they don't have vacuum, and
because they don't have a throttle body.
that gets even more. Once we get to the 2 strokes, it gets even more interesting. And then the final stroke is exhaust. It needs somewhere for that burnt air to go, and so it
Burnt.
goes out. The exhaust is the piston. The piston's coming back out. It's
Piston.
pushing the exhaust out, and then it rocks over and does the cycle all over again. On a 2-stroke, there are only 2
2 strokes.
On a gas engine, it's different, I think, on a gas 2-stroke, it's different than a diesel 2-stroke. Diesel 2-stroke, which was Detroit's, was one of the only brands doing this. In the entire, not really in the entire diesel. There were other companies making 2-strokes, but
Detroit was the most common.
it was the dominant one. They were in Fords, Kenworths, Peterbilts, Generals. They were in Brigadiers. They were in basically
Ford trucks had them.
any truck brand you can think of.
Back when
throughout
you could get
the
any engine
70s.
you wanted in
Yeah,
any
back,
truck.
so back when you could get a Cat, Cummins, or a Detroit, of any
Here comes
like,
another plane.
Cummins. For Cumminses, you could get all sorts of sizes. Detroits you could too, and Cat had a couple of legendary ones back in the day too.
3208.
3208 is.
It's
if you
one of
want
them.
To call it, it's one of the.
It's one of them.
It's one of the engines ever made, by the way.
That's good. That's true. It is one of the
It's
one of the engines.
One of the engines ever made. Anyway, back in the day, in the 70s
Oh look,
and
there's a
80s.
two-stroke.
Hey, look at that. You just found one on Marketplace. We're getting to the
I'm
market.
sure I sent it to you already.
We're going to get to the Marketplace fine. I'm sure you
Well, yeah, that's where I was going with that. This guy has an obsession with two-strokes.
on Facebook Marketplace.
We got distracted. No, just in general. You have a problem, my friend.
Yeah,
It is a big problem.
It is a big problem. Everybody knows
He has
it.
a love for two-stroke Detroits that is unmatched by anybody else. So his nickname is Two-Stroke. That's how he is in my phone because he's obsessed with two-strokes.
That's how I am, and actually most of the people.
So every time I find one on Marketplace, I
Sends it
send
to
it to him because I know he has a problem.
and
And I probably shouldn't be fueling it,
no,
but you know.
one of these days, one of those will end up at my house.
And then your parents will kill you.
They will. Anyway, back to
Anyway.
the subject of Marketplace fines and whatnot. Yeah, so on a two-stroke diesel, Detroit was dominant. You could buy them 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s up until the mid-90s. They quit putting them in trucks. They quit actually manufacturing two-stroke Detroits in 95 altogether.
Because they wouldn't meet emissions.
Yeah, they wouldn't meet emissions. And in 87, they came out with the Series 60, which is legendary. Basically those trucks are really good. The engines are great. But anyway, two-stroke diesel. Back to how that works. It's just two strokes. Intake and
A two-stroke is two-stroke?
intake and exhaust in a two-stroke diesel is happening at the same time.
It combines
It combines
two strokes.
the four strokes into just two. Intake and exhaust. And you might be thinking, how does that happen at the same time? Well, two-stroke Detroits, in order to run, require aspiration, and they're not aspirated.
Which means air.
They have a forced air system to make air move through them.
Because diesels don't have a natural vacuum.
They don't
because
have
they
a
don't have a throttle body.
Yeah.
So they have a supercharger that forces air into the intake.
Yeah, so on a two-stroke Detroit, they use what's called a blower, and it's exactly the same
Supercharger.
as a supercharger. However, Detroit guys don't call them superchargers because they're
Because they're weird.
not charging the air intake. They are
Because-
blowing air.
Yeah, two strokes require them to run,
Require
so they're
them to run, yeah.
they're part of the engine. They're not an accessory.
Yeah, they are a part of the gear train. And if you're wondering where like 671 and 871, the name for superchargers in hot rodding came from, it's from Detroit's because
That's where they started.
That's where they came from. People would take them and they'd put them on their
Look at that.
everything.
Look how pretty that is.
Oh dang,
It's an advertisement for a stick or a TIG welder.
that's an advertisement for a stick.
I actually want to get that. That's very nice.
That's a good
Anyway, sorry.
find. Anyway,
Well,
yeah. No, actually, that's a good Marketplace find. We'll put that in there.
you should put it in the description of the podcast.
Yeah,
if we
so
find a good
for
deal.
anyone you can send that to me.
I'm pretty sure I already did.
This is the Marketplace Find segment. He's going to have somewhat sensible Marketplace finds. I'm not going to have any. Maybe one.
And this will only apply to people that are. Maybe we shouldn't put them in the description because it's only people that are around
in
here,
this state.
which might not pertain to everybody. I don't know.
All right, well, Marketplace finds of the week.
You know where Marketplace is. You can probably
know-
find it
You know what
if you
it
look up
is.
Hay Equipment.
If you look up anything, hay equipment related, doesn't matter. You know how Marketplace works, I'm sure, if you're watching this podcast or listening.
I'm trying to get Ryan to buy something like this because
New Holland 648 ground boiler.
yeah, for $8,500.
8,500.
It actually looks like it's in pretty good shape.
That actually, I saw that one.
It's
and I
probably a pretty good deal.
thought the same thing. I think it is.
Where is
actually.
it?
Is that a crow?
Oh, it's in Idaho.
Oh.
That might be a problem. Whoops.
Hey, that's local enough.
Yeah.
Airplane.
People have trailers. Yeah, sorry, planes. Uh-oh. Is it gonna start raining?
I think it is raining.
It is raining, isn't it? Should probably go roll the windows up on my truck.
Maybe.
I'll be right back.
While he's going to do that, I'm going to explain the last little bit
talk about two strokes.
about two strokes for a little bit here. Two strokes are
Fantastic.
fantastic. Yeah,
According
that's a
to
good
you.
word. They are fantastic. Two-stroke diesels run basically. Start that over. Can't talk. Two-stroke Detroits run with your intake and exhaust strokes combined, and then you have your compression and ignition, or compression and combustion strokes combined as well. Now, two strokes only have exhaust valves. That is it. And I know this is going to sound weird. I should probably try and find pictures. But they are blown. They have blowers that bring the air in and sort of blow the air into the valley of the engine. And the liners around the pistons have cutouts. And these cutouts allow the air that's being blown in by the blower to enter the cylinder. There are no intake valves. There's no need for them in a two-stroke. Blows the air in. And
Toblerone.
oh yes, yes I do actually. It blows the air in, goes into the cylinder, and at the same time this is happening, an exhaust stroke is happening. The piston is down.
This won't make sense to anybody that's not a mechanic probably either. So
you have to probably be a mechanic.
if your eyes are glazing over, just wait a
skip-
minute. We'll get through it.
We'll
Don't
get
worry.
through it. It'll be fine. You can skip this if you really want to. Please don't. But
Relax.
anyway, a two-stroke basically forces air in to the crankcase kind of area, but not really. Blows air into the cylinder. Yes,
Swiss chocolate.
good stuff.
We have a Toblerone stick. If you don't know what we're talking about,
Yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, blows air into the cylinder, blows exhaust air out. Then the piston comes out, compresses it, burns it. All at the same time. They sound heavenly.
I will give you that. They do sound pretty good.
You need to go find a video of them. Anyway,
That you could put in the description.
I will put in a couple of videos.
Links. You need to find that 1671
I will, yeah.
that you love so much.
I'm going to find links to the videos because they are everywhere on basically the videos that are the gateway to the Detroit community that circulate around the Detroit Diesel Enthusiast Facebook group all the time.
Which he is a proud member of.
I'm a proud member of that podcast. I'm a proud member of that Facebook group.
You're doing great.
I'm a proud member of this podcast, actually.
Me too.
Yeah, he is too. Anyway, back to it. Here's the Facebook finds of the week. Let's get right into it. Here are mine. I'll just present them.
They're all two strokes.
They are. Every single one. Now that you know kind of what they are. Start from the bottom and move up. Out in Castle Rock, Washington. If you don't know where that is.
It's on a map somewhere.
It's on a map somewhere. There is a 6V92 Detroit, which is a V6 in the 92 series, which is 92 cubic inches per cylinder. It is a non-turbo unit. Oh, no. It is a turbo unit. It is for sale.
Don't sound too excited. You might be getting a stiffy over there.
Yeah, I know. It's a turbo. It is a turbo engine. It is an actual genuine 92 series, I believe. Oh, you can
Silver
tell.
92, huh?
No, I don't think it's silver.
Oh.
No, I said
So is there a difference between the regular 92 and silver?
yeah, silver had more power.
That makes sense.
So the silver.
Silvers are prettier too.
Silvers look good. A silver 92, for those of you that don't know, is it's a silver 8V92.
Or a six. Yeah, it's an 92 series.
It's a 92 series Detroit, which only had V's. They were only V configuration. So it's a 6 or an 8. I
or
believe.
12.
I don't even know if they made a silver 12.
Did they?
I don't think so. I think they might have
That's
made
probably
a
at the end of the run there.
Might have made a silver 6. And I know they made a silver 8 because that was the most popular one. Those were literally in every single truck ever made.
They had power.
And they had power for. They had a lot more horsepower than they did torque. That's kind of what makes them what they are.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel it. You don't feel the
that's
pulling power.
interesting.
But anyway, silvers are really cool, semi-desirable. But this one is not a silver. It is a 6V92 standard Detroit sort of grayish color. Some of them were what's the color? Alpine green. This one is not alpine green. This one is just sort of a grayish color.
That almost looks like Ford engine color. From
Yeah,
the
I'm
80s.
sure that if it was put in a Ford,
It might have been.
it might be painted that color. I wouldn't be surprised.
I found
What did you
an 85 69 IDI diesel engine for
how much?
$600.
$600.
I think it. Let's see. Running when moved for a Cummins swap. They took it out and put a Cummins in it.
So it's just a good run 6.9.
I thought it was Mike for a second. 12 valve.
12 valve.
That's another kid in our class.
Yeah. We can talk about that too. Like some of the interesting characters in our class. And some
We
people
could.
that
We should save that for
We'll
next
save
week,
that
though,
for
so
next
we
week.
actually have some material.
Next week's podcast is all about what it's like to go to
Centralia College.
Centralia College Diesel School. What that experience is like.
Most of them aren't coming back either.
No, next for the next degree we're getting,
Bachelors of Applied Science
Bachelor's of Applied Science in Diesel.
and Diesel Technology.
We're very few and far between now. It was a lot more for the associate's degree, 'cause
Which was
everybody-
pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that was pretty entertaining. A lot of it, and a lot of the things we did. But anyway, on to my marketplace find. Back to, oh, wouldn't you look at that? It's another Detroit Diesel.
His entire marketplace feed is like, there's other stuff carpet bombed in there, but it's
Oh, it's
mainly two-stroke Detroits
Oh,
because
it's
he has a
rare.
problem.
It's so rare. That
And I make it known to him. I tell him that he has a problem all the time.
all the time. But it doesn't help that I send
It's
him.
never going to stop.
I send him one every once in a while. So
You
it's-
send me some, and I send you
He
all
sends
kinds of. Every
me-
time I find one, I send them to you because I know you have
because he knows I have a
you have
problem.
a deep and full love for two-stroke
I
Detroits.
do. This one is out of a 75 International. Again, there's another truck to add to the list that Detroits were in. International. They were in those two.
Were they?
They were in everything. This was removed out of a 75 International. Unknown mile. It looks literally like it was yarded out in a rock pit and they just kind of left it there.
On a pallet.
Not even that.
Oh.
It's literally just sitting on the ground. So it's in really
That's
good
awesome.
shape. But
Except for maybe the oil pan.
oh no, yeah. It's Ranwin parked. Ranwin parked.
That's the famous phrase.
That's
though.
the good phrase right there. Sat a couple of years and the truck was parted out, looking to get 800. That's how.
That's probably a good
That's
deal.
probably not bad if you wanted parts.
Oh, is it parts engine?
I don't know. I think he wants to sell a whole.
Well, yeah.
Pretty sure by the description.
But does
But
does
just
it
by
run?
the quality of it, he did say it ran one park, but that just doesn't really mean anything. So, if I had to guess, it probably doesn't run right now, and I wouldn't try. Got anything else?
That AC machine I sent you.
Oh, yeah,
Robinair R134A AC machine.
Yeah, and if you're looking to get, if you're looking to make any good
A
money,
Cooltech B4700Z
Hmm.
for $1,700, which
Which-
is about half price of new,
Oh yeah.
which is pretty good. That's actually a pretty good deal.
For those that don't know, air conditioning machines are incredibly expensive.
That one that the college has was what, $3,200 or
Yeah.
something?
So
Yeah.
the college has a Molly.
And that's like the Cadillac though.
Yeah, it's
that
got
does
touchscreen,
everything for
Wi-Fi,
you.
and all this
It's
stuff.
nice.
It does everything for you. You don't need that. And if you really want a quick way to make decent money in the summer, get yourself a 609 certification.
Mhm.
And it's not that hard to do. It's not that much money.
The test was super easy.
The test is super easy. They let you have the book open, or I say the book. It's online. It's a PDF. Or whatever.
Yeah.
They let you have that open while you're doing it. Super easy. Get yourself 609 certification AC machine, and you'll be able to make a decent chunk of money.
Yeah.
Over the summer. It's
Right in springtime when people start using their air conditioning
Yeah,
and they're like,
right
oh,
up
it's not cold anymore.
It's not working. Yeah, and you can charge like $100 an hour plus, even more
Because
than that.
you took the time to do, what, a 20-minute test?
Yeah,
If that.
yeah, if that, and it's in the
The machine
cost-
and the refrigerant are the expensive things.
yeah, but you can still make a decent amount of money.
You
off
can.
it. And the test doesn't cost that much. The machine, it does cost a bit, but that's just, you can get over that. And you can make money.
You
Awful.
probably have to do 2 or 3 services before you pay for the refrigerant, because I looked at one at O'Reilly's for a 30-pound bottle, like that propane tank,
Yeah,
was like
Ridiculous.
$530
yeah, it's ridiculous, and
for... that's on the fleet side, so you get like a discount or
yeah, and that's still
maybe not. I don't know what I'm talking about.
the
Half the
professional
time.
side or whatever.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The commercial
it's
side.
commercial
That was
side.
it. But
Yeah.
it was expensive. It was very, very expensive.
Yeah, and it gets expensive after a while, but
Mhm.
you can still make money off of it if you charge the right amount because you know what your work is worth. Yeah, you can make money off of it. 30-pound bottle is pretty extreme.
Yeah, you probably only want a 15.
Yeah, you probably don't want that much.
That's what we had at the college, and
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no. And you can charge a lot with that. So,
Mhm.
all right, next find. What do we got here? Oh yeah, that's right. It's another Detroit. You bet. This is a.
Are we surprised? No.
This is a Brigadier. So this is the first truck in the lineup. The other two were just engines. But if you wanted to buy an entire truck powered by a Detroit, this is another 92 series. It's, it's only a 6. I know. We'll get to the bigger ones in a minute. But 6V92 Brigadier.
You know, they might not have as much of a hard-on for two-stroke Detroits as you do.
no,
so
but
you
I
might
like
wanna
to
be
believe that
careful
there's
with
like
it.
one or two people out
Fanatics?
there that are like, yes, this guy's
Crazy people.
This guy is talking. Crazy people. Yeah.
No offense to anybody listening or watching.
Yeah, some of us are. a
I
little
just
bit
have to
nuttier.
give him crap for it because it's hilarious.
Yeah, but some of us are also a little bit nuttier. Detroit
comedy.
people.
It's comedy.
It's
I
comedy.
promise.
It is not a Jake head truck. I know it's sad, but it is a 6V92 turbo.
You should explain what that means too, because people might
Jake
not
brakes. If you don't know what Jake brakes are how.
know that. The Jacobs engine brake.
Yes, Jacob's engine brake. It's how you slow down your diesel engine when you're driving down the road because diesels don't.
Diesels don't have a vacuum,
Yeah,
so
they don't
like
have a natural tendency to slow down on their own like a gas engine car would.
when you close the throttle in a gas engine, it creates a vacuum and limits the amount of air coming in. So that forces it to slow down because it can't suck in as much air as it needs. Diesels don't have a throttle, so it's just an open intake all the time.
Right.
So
All the
to
time. There's no vacuum.
a Jacobs engine brake is basically another cam between the main cam.
It's like it kind of
It just adds.
it adds these things that slow down on a. Most of them it starts to close the exhaust valves. I think
It's on.
exhaust or
No, it's the middle of compression, I think.
middle of compression.
So it opens the exhaust valve in the middle of the compression stroke.
Right.
So it just lets all that compression out, which makes it slow down.
Yeah. And that's,
Which is why it sounds like truck farts,
yeah, but they do sound good. Love Jake brake sounds.
especially on two-stroke.
Especially on two-strokes.
That's your favorite.
They are unique. On a two-stroke, a Jake brake is weird on purpose. It does the same thing. It opens the exhaust valve in the middle of compression, but because it only has two strokes, it's very strange, and it only has exhaust valves. So it
4 exhaust valves
four
per cylinder.
4 exhaust valves per cylinder. So it's this oil-driven system that's pressing down on the exhaust valves to keep them open.
And they're famous for running away.
Yeah. Buyers beware if you're buying a truck with a two-stroke in it, and you
Make sure it doesn't run away.
intend on driving it,
And
you don't
have
just intend on taking it out and putting a big cam 400 Cummins in it like a normal person would probably do. You need to be careful. You need to have WD-40 on you. You need to, first thing you do if it's been sitting for a while, take the valve cover off. Spray down all the injectors, the racks inside each injector. They get stuck.
and that's how they run away.
That's how they run away. They get stuck open, and if they get stuck open, it goes to governor wide open throttle. Actually, it even goes past that. What?
I think we should stop it.
Oh,
An
we
hour
will.
and a half.
All right, we
That
will.
sounds good.
So anyway,
So hurry up.
short of it is they run away. So if you're gonna buy one, just buyers beware if it's been sitting for a while. We're gonna cut this off at an hour and a half.
Let me do one more.
Well, he's gonna do one more actual reasonable find that you might actually
That
buy.
somebody might actually be able to use.
Yeah. So this is a hay baler.
It's a New Holland BC 5050 small square baler. I don't know what year. Let's see. Come on. It doesn't say what year, but it looks relatively new because it's got the newer stickers on
Yeah,
it.
that's a 50/70. You said
Yeah, 5050.
50/50. So it's a
I think that might
narrow
be
pickup.
smaller.
Yeah, narrow pickup.
Yeah, for 17.9,
17.9.
which doesn't sound like that bad of a deal.
For a newer-ish baler, that's
Yeah.
not that bad, especially considering what the prices on the
New one, like
270
$40,000.
Like a 275 Hayliner, that's like 40 grand.
That's a
for
lot of
nice one.
money
275 plus, especially.
for something that loses its value as soon as you put hay through it.
Yeah, the minute you put bales through it, it loses
Yeah.
its value.
Anyway, that's
So-
mine thing for the week.
That's his finds of the week. Those were my finds of the week. They're completely useless, and they will continue to be for the rest of all time. So, I think this is where we're going to end the podcast off. I have to edit this, of course, and you should be seeing this before or on 4th of July. I'm not sure. Depends.
Yeah,
Depends
sometime
on how
around
fast I
there.
can get that done.
No pressure.
Yeah, this has been
It's just two guys BSing for
us.
a while,
Yeah, just sitting here, just
talking about random
talking
stuff.
about random stuff.
Some stuff that pertains to farming, some stuff that doesn't,
Some of it doesn't. Most of it,
like two strokes.
yeah, most of it's two strokes. But yeah, if you want to catch this more, if you want
Words.
to words, if you want to catch us next time, we'll be back somewhere next week, maybe on the farm, one of the farms or something like that.
Well, it'll be one of the farms. We're not just going to
Yeah,
drive
it
out to
will
the
be.
middle of nowhere.
We're not. I mean, that would be really funny.
We
But,
could. I mean, we can do it wherever we want.
Yeah, it would be really. This is a very portable setup. We do need a power bank or something for the laptop, though. But
I can charge mine.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
It
figure it
doesn't
out.
matter.
But anyway, this has been the Old Souls podcast. I hope
Yep.
you guys enjoyed it. You know where to find us so far. We're on YouTube right now.
We'll start with YouTube. Maybe we'll try and get on Spotify if we can figure out how
Spotify,
that
if we can
works.
Figure out how that works.
Spotify would be great.
It would be.
I imagine you have to have some kind of minimum following
Yeah,
or some.
or
I don't know.
something like that.
I don't know how it works. We'll have to research that.
We'll look into it. This has been the Old Souls podcast. We've been having fun. Just basically getting you introduced to
Whatever the hell this thing is.
whatever this is, who we are, what we do, and we'll be here next time. And
Hopefully with a charged camera,
hopefully
so
with a
you can
good
see it
charged
the whole
camera.
time.
And hopefully we can find a way to put a power bank on that thing so I can keep it charged. So
Or just charge the batteries. Maybe.
yeah, maybe that would be
That might
smart.
be better.
Hey, I forgot to charge batteries before I did this. I'm really well prepared, but next time we'll have this more. This podcast might be a little bit more formulated. We might have it down to a T. The segments.
Well, there's no way we'll have it down to a T.
No.
Just calm down with that kind of talk.
Yeah.
We're not that professional.
We're not big
That'll
time
take
yet.
a few years to
Yeah,
get that professional.
But right
We'll
now-
get maybe like an actual mixer, and
Yeah,
so we don't have
right
to use
there.
software to do it, or
Yeah,
we'll
whatever.
figure it out.
But yeah, we're just figuring it out. Hopefully, you guys will give us a listen. Just listen to two.
Like,
Basically,
subscribe, whatever,
like,
all that
subscribe,
stuff
whatever,
that
the
people
good
always
stuff.
say.
you know what to do. You know how.
You don't have to. It's not a. I mean,
It's not a
we'd
force.
like it,
It's free.
but yeah,
You don't
it's-
have to
it's
pay
free.
money.
That's true.
You don't have to pay money.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
It
I
doesn't
mean,
matter to
we'd
us.
prefer that you like and subscribe because
Leave a comment down below if
Yeah.
you want to. If you're
send us
Of the
things that you
commenting
want us to talk about,
about
that
just
are somewhat related to
interesting
farming.
stuff. I will remember to, or I will be bringing up more in-depth stuff next week on.
We'll have more topics. Don't worry.
A lot more topics. This time was
There's
just a
all
test
kinds
run.
of fun stuff to talk about
Oh, yeah.
all the time.
We'll finish it off. I think we should do this as a thing for the podcast.
What?
Just quickly, rapid fire.
Like
Projects.
what?
Just like, I'm working on this,
Oh.
whatever, and then I'll see you next time.
Oh, geez. Yeah, we'll explain more next time. 'Cause there's plenty of
So,
stuff involved with it.
I'm working on a white tractor. You'll figure out what that is next time. He's working on.
My POS 2005 F350.
Yeah,
It's not that bad.
also,
I talk a lot of crap about it, but they're really not that
they're
bad.
not horrible if you know what you're doing.
A 6-liter, for those that know what that
Yeah,
is,
for
I'm
those.
sure all the mechanics that
Everybody
will
knows.
watch this, if any mechanics watch it, knows what that
Absolutely.
is. It's
Yeah.
been apart for like 2 weeks. You'll hear more about that next time
Next week,
because there's plenty complaining that I have to do about it. We'll see.
Yeah, he'll complain next week. Next week I'll talk about my white tractor and some internationals probably.
You should talk about the 66 that
I'll
you
talk
just
about
finished.
the 1066 that I just finished restoring, and maybe the Oliver Super 55 diesel that I'm going to restore.
That'll be good.
And yeah, we'll talk about that more next week.
There's plenty of topics.
There's
don't
plenty
worry.
of topics. We'll get on to it. Thank you for stopping by, taking the time to watch the
If you
Old Souls
watch the
podcast.
whole thing, we
If-
appreciate
yeah, we
that
appreciate
too.
it. If you just put it on in the background, it doesn't matter. Anything to give us a little bit more watch time doesn't
We
matter.
appreciate it.
It's just a little bit of white noise.
It's just
when
two
you're
guys
watching it.
talking.
Just a couple guys talking, as it will be, and as it should
Hopefully, we'll get more professional as we go on.
be. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like
we
you
will
said-
always try to keep it as a couple guys just talking, but
Which-
we will try to formulate the topics.
Yeah.
and kind of make it a little bit easier.
Be a
to
little more
watch.
professional about
Yeah.
it.
This time was just a test run.
Yep.
We will see you guys in the next podcast.
This has been the Old Souls
This has been
podcast.
the Old Souls podcast.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.